Good afternoon, all of you. Today we discuss about the trial on petrol engine. So in the previous practical, we have discussed about the trial on diesel engine. Now today we'll discuss about the trial on petrol engine as well as the trial on most test. So as per syllabus, we have two experiment on petrol engine. That is the experiment number 6, which is trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for determination of friction power, and trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for variable speed performance testing. So first we'll discuss about the trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for variable speed performance testings, and then we'll discuss about trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for determination of friction power. So when we discuss about the trial on single cylinder diesel engine for variable load performance testing and heat balance, at that time we have discussed about the engine, its specification, then experimental setup, then observation table, calculations, results and conclusion. So the trial on petrol engine in line with the trial on diesel engine. That's why if you remember the trial on diesel engine, then easily you can understand the trial on petrol engine. So first we'll discuss about the trial on petrol engine for determination of the performance of the petrol engine and preparation of the heat balance sheet. So this is the objective of our today's trial. So we have to conduct trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for variable speed performance testing, and finally we have to prepare the heat balance sheet. So first we will discuss about the specification of the engine as well as the test setup. So the power rating of the engine is 27.6 kilowatt. Again, the maximum speed is 5000 rpm. The cylinder diameter on which we have to conduct the trial is 66.5 millimeter. Stroke length is 72 millimeter. Connecting rod length is 114 millimeter. Compression ratio is 9.2:1. Again, it is a 4-stroke engine. It has 3 cylinder. Again, it is a variable speed engine. Again, it has water cooling system. The dynamometer uses eddy current type dynamometer. Again, we use cylinder pressure indicator diagram, that is P theta diagram, for performance determination. Again, interface type is PCI 1050, and the calorimeter used in the setup is pipe in pipe type. Now this is the experimental setup. So just recall the experimental setup which we have discussed about the diesel engine. So it is almost similar to that. So in case of diesel engine setup, here we have single cylinder diesel engine. Instead of that, here we have multi-cylinder petrol engine. So we use here Maruti engine for our test purpose. Again, it is a 3-cylinder 4-stroke MPFI petrol engine. In theory lectures we have discussed about the MPFI system. So in this petrol engine we use MPFI system. Again, this engine is coupled to the eddy current dynamometer through coupling. Again, it consists of rotameter, 2 rotameters. Again, this is the calorimeter. Then here we have control panel. Again, when we conduct the trial on diesel engine, so same procedure we have to follow for the trial on petrol engine. So we can load the engine through this dynamometer. Again, we have to load the engine in steps as previous. Again, we have 4 groups in a batch. So group 1 will record reading for first load, then group 2 will record reading for next load, and so on. So again, we load the engine in step of 2 kilogram. So first group will record reading for 2 kilogram, second group will record reading for 4 kilogram, third group will record reading for 6 kilogram, fourth group will record reading for 8 kilogram. Again, various sensors are connected. So this T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, these are the temperature sensors connected at various locations to measure the various temperatures, and all these temperature sensors are connected to the control panel, and through which we can record the readings of the temperatures. Again, these are the two rotameters. So this rotameter is connected to measure the flow rate of water which circulates water to the engine cylinder. Again, this rotameter will record the flow rate of water which circulate the water to the calorimeter. Again, here we have to record the flow rate of the fuel taken to the engine cylinder through flow meter or to the measuring cylinder. Again, we have to record the quantity of air taken to the cylinder through orifice box or through air box arrangement. And again, on the control panel we have speed sensors, load sensors, and the various temperature sensors. So accordingly we will conduct the trial and we will record the various observations. So this is the actual setup. In previous slide we have discussed the layout of the engine. So this is the actual setup available in our lab. So this is the engine on which we have to conduct the trial. So it is a Maruti engine. Again, it is a 3-cylinder engine. Again, it has MPFI system. This is the control panel on which various sensors are connected and we have to record the reading. Again, through this control panel we have to load the engine. Again, we have to record various observations and we have to record all these observations in the observation table. So this is the observation table. So this table is similar to the table which we have seen during the trial on diesel engine. So that's why instead of detailed explanation, just I will explain in brief. Here in first column we have to record the load, then we have to record the speed in the next column, then manometer reading in millimeters of water column, then quantity of the fuel and its time required. Then we have to record the water flow rate for cooling water circulated to the engine. Again, we have to record the various temperatures like T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. Again, we have to record the water flow rate of the water circulated for the calorimeter. Again, all these temperature sensors, that is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, that are connected to the control panel and through which we can record the reading. Now in row 1, group 1 will write their reading for the respective load. Again in row 2, group 2 will write the reading. In row 3, group 3 will write the reading, and in row 4, group 4 will write the reading. Now this is the calculation or result table. Again, it is almost similar to the table which we have discussed in the trial of diesel engine. So in the first column we have to record the brake power, then brake mean effective pressure, then in the next column we have to write BSFC, then brake thermal efficiency, then air flow rate, then fuel flow rate, volumetric efficiency, air fuel ratio. Again we have to prepare the heat balance as previous. Here we have to write the heat equivalent of work or for BP, then heat by cooling water, then heat by exhaust gas, and finally the heat unaccounted for. So from this finally we can write the percentage of heat utilized as per the input to the given to the engine. So finally we have to plot the various curves. So we have to plot here load versus brake thermal efficiency, then load versus volumetric efficiency, load versus BSFC, load versus brake power, load versus fuel consumption. And once we plot this curve, so from this curve we have to write the conclusions. So what are the conclusions from the respective graph, that we have to write as per the graph plotted, and accordingly we have to write this conclusion in our write-up. Now after this we will discuss about the next experiment, that is about the mode test. Now for conducting the mode test, again we have to use the same setup. Again the same engine we use for our mode test practical. So the objectives of mode test is we have to conduct the trial on multi-cylinder petrol engine for determination of the friction power. So again we have to find the indicated power of individual cylinders, since we use 3 cylinder in this engine. So we have to find indicated power of all the cylinders. Then we have to find brake power of the engine, friction power of the engine, and finally we will find the mechanical efficiency. We know that mechanical efficiency is the output to the input. So here output is the brake power and input is the indicated power. So from that we can find the mechanical efficiency. Again friction power takes care of all the losses that are takes place during the trial, and this friction power is the difference of indicated power, that is total indicated power of the engine, minus the brake power at the engine. So from this we can find the friction power. Now this is the same setup, just we have discussed about the setup. Same setup we have to use once again for conducting the Mohs test. Only difference is that in this setup we have to cut the respective cylinder from the operation, and accordingly we can find the power of all the cylinders. Power of all the cylinders. First of all we will find the power of indicated power of individual cylinder, and from that we will find the total power. Again, since we have to record the load, and as per that load we have to find the brake power. Again we have to find brake power, individual brake power, and from that we will find the total brake power. Again this is the same setup that we have to use for our same experiment, that is for the Mohs test. So that's why, since we have discussed in previous slides, so we will go for the next, that is about the observation table. Now in observation table, first of all we'll run the engine for full load when all the cylinders are working, and after that we'll cut the cylinder 1, then cylinder 2, and then cylinder 3 from the series, and accordingly we'll record the speed and load. Suppose when we record the speed when all cylinders are in working, then accordingly we record the load here, and after that we'll cut the first cylinder. So when we cut, as soon as we cut the first cylinder, then we'll write the speed of that engine and then the load. Then we cut the next cylinder, again we write the speed and load in the respective columns, and then we cut the third cylinder, and then we'll write the speed and load accordingly. Now from the load, when we cut the first cylinder, we can find the brake power, and that brake power is referred as BP1. Again the basic formula to find the brake power is, that is 2 pi nt by 60. Again in this formula, so n is speed, t is the torque, and we can find the torque from the load and radius of the dynamometer. So to find the brake power BP1, so this is the brake power, BP1 is the brake power when we cut the first cylinder, BP2 is the brake power when we cut the second cylinder, and BP3 is the brake power when we cut the third cylinder. So how we find the brake power 1? So this brake power 1 we can find the formula by 2 pi nt1 by 60. Again T1 is the torque when we cut the first cylinder, that we can find with respect to the load, and again from the dynamometer reading, or that is from dynamometer radius. Similarly BP2 is brake power when we cut the second cylinder, that we can find by the formula 2 pi nt2 by 60, where T2 is the torque with respect to the load when we cut the second cylinder. Then BP3 is the brake power when we cut the third cylinder, accordingly we find it. The formula is again 2 pi nt3 by 60, where T3 is the torque during cutoff of the third cylinder, which is again we can find with respect to the load and the dynamometer radius. So once we find this individual brake power, then we can find the total brake power. Again indicated power, that is IP1, it is the indicated power of first cylinder, IP2 is the indicated power of second cylinder, IP3 is the indicated power of third cylinder. So I will find this IP1. So this IP1 is the difference of total BP minus BP1. Similarly IP2 is the difference of BP minus BP2. IP3 is the difference of total BP minus BP3. And once we get the individual power, then we can find the total indicated power as the sum of IP1, IP2 and IP3. Again in the write-up, details are given about these calculations. So please go through the write-up. Again what I will suggest, except observation and calculation, you have to write all the write-ups, and as soon as college will resume, then we will conduct the trial and we will write the reading in observation table. Again we will complete the calculation as per the observations. Then in the next column we have to find here friction power in kilowatt. It is the difference of indicated power and brake power. and finally we have to find the mechanical efficiency. So this mechanical efficiency is the ratio of brake power to the indicated power. Again, group wise reading you have to write in the respective rows as per your groups. So in row 1, group 1 will write the reading, in row 2 group 2 will write the reading, in group 3 in row 3 group 3 will write the reading, and in row 4 group 4 will write the reading. So finally we have to write the conclusion. So conclusion is nothing but the individual brake power as well as total brake power of the engine, then individual indicated power as well as total indicated power of the engine, and friction power of the engine, because our main objectives we have to find the friction power, indirectly the losses that are taking place due to various parameters. So that is the friction power, and finally we have to write the mechanical efficiency, which is the ratio of again brake power to the indicated power. So in this way we can complete our trial on petrol engine as well as the Mohs test. So today we'll stop here. Thank you.